Well, howdy guys and gals, Brenton and Wavey here, of course. So we are back up in Superiorland and back up at the Beagle Barge, as you can see. And we've said goodbye to Shanty Boat Cove, at least for this year. Kind of reminiscing about it. This is what this video will be about, just mostly talking, you know, it's like, that's how I wrap up a season. You kind of have some closure, you know, and I think it was the right choice. It was Lake Michigan is a totally different environment than Lake Superior. You wouldn't think if you were just looking at a map, but the two lakes are very different. And I kind of feel like Lake Michigan is probably the place to be. If you're just talking about weather, June, July, some August, it starts to actually get hot down there. It's hot up here now, actually. But fall in Superiorland, you can't beat it. And that's what we're going into right now. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. This would be a good time. Lake Superior, Isle Royale, Manitou Island, the Keweenaw Peninsula. It's going to be awesome. My buddy Shannon's on his way right now from North Carolina, so you get to know him too. Okay, guys, enough rambling as always. Enjoy the video, and we'll see you guys and gals. So we are at Shanty Boat Cove, probably for the last time, at least this year. Hopefully not forever, but this year. Just got back to Ludington. I kind of accumulated 2 trips worth of stuff to haul home, so this is the second trip. And I'm just walking down the beach here. Wayne's still at work for like another hour. We're gonna meet here in a little bit, and I'm just gonna, I don't know, come down here, check out his shanty boat, see what's going on, and kind of reminisce with you and do like an assessment of the summer. Wayne said he might be getting a new boat. He sold the Bluegill Killer, and one of his bosses might sell him this boat. Let's go check it out. There's a shanty boat. Cool. We'll have to get the 411 on this when he gets off work. Looks like a nice boat. He said it had a 4-stroke on it. And Wavey sees some minnows. Here, let's just do this. Where are you going? I guess you don't hate swimming after all, huh? You'll end up across town if I let you. Here it is, let's see, August 9th, I think. And I showed up here to Shanty Boat Cove, like, let's call it June 1st. No. What was it? No, it was July 1st. So what is it? I thought I'd been here longer. Okay, guys, I had to think about that. I am not very good with time. I hardly ever pay attention. Like, if you went to my house, you would see that I have a calendar up on the wall, and it's usually a month or 2 behind, maybe 3. And I rarely know what day it is, and I hardly know what time it is. So I kind of go by seasons. I don't know. I'm just wired that way. But we got here, I want to say late June. I'd have to go back and check the record, but... And here it is, August. Look at Wavey there. See, he wants to get those minnows. It's August 10th, August 9th, something like that. And so what is that? That's like, let's just call it 5-6 weeks. We've been hanging out here in Shanty Boat Cove. I've made some videos for you guys, 3 or 4 of them. And if we were gonna look at it as what can we take from this couple of months, you know, this summer? Well, we built Wayne a nice little shanty boat for next to nothing. You guys saw that. I think he's decided he's going to go with a different motor, so he's actually only in that thing less than $1,000, which is absolutely amazing, all things considered. And we got to spend some time in Lower Michigan or Ludington or Lake Michigan. I got to show you guys some lighthouses. I think it was a good choice. I feel like my time in Superiorland is coming to a close. Not entirely. I have owned land, or I moved up there about 10 years ago. I want to say 2015, 16. And I have done just about everything that I've wanted to do. It used to be a place before that, before I moved up there, it was kind of like this mystical place that I would escape to, like on weekends, and a week I could get off here and there when I lived in central Minnesota. And you know, I'd go up to the Apostle Islands, and then pretty soon I lived on my boat for a summer. And, you know, I think this was like pre-YouTube days, but I finally moved to the place I wanted to be. I figured, why not just move up there instead of always trying to figure out how to, you know, squeeze in a day or 2 days or 3 days in. It was very frustrating. In the meantime, this beagle's been swimming around. Who knows why? You got your feet on the bottom. You know you're crazy, right? What are you doing? What is it? What, you think you're gonna catch a minnow, and then let's say you caught one. What's it gonna matter? We're just wandering around out here, knee deep in the water. Knee deep in the water somewhere, just like the song says. Wavey's, I don't even know what she's doing. She's cray-cray. So yeah, Lake Superior. Superiorland is what I call it. I have 2 properties up there. I got in there right under the wire. I've heard a new term people have been using online is I got the last chopper out of Nam before all the prices just went sky high and nobody could afford to, you know, buy a home. And of course, it's a very economically depressed place. It still is, but just relative, it gets kind of dragged up, you know. And so the couple of properties that I still own, I had a couple others. You guys saw when I lived on the beach there. I got my little beach place really cheap and had it for 5 years and got to live right on the shores of Lake Superior. It was really fun. And then I sold it a couple years ago. This dog's crazy. She pretends like she hates the water. Like she's a great swimmer, but she hates it. And then you start showing her minnows, and she'll swim all the way over to Ludington to catch one. So to continue the story here, I still have a couple of properties. I have my deer camp that I bought. It's hard to remember, but I want to say 4 years ago. I got my river spot, which has been giving me some trouble lately. I always debate on how much I need or want, or that you guys would want me to share with you guys about, you know, my life and the behind the scenes stuff. But one reason why I got that place so cheap is that it had really convoluted, messed up property lines, and the 2 people who flank the property, well, we finally worked it out, let's just put it that way, but they didn't make it easy, and there's some resentments involved with that. My buddy, who's like 80 something years old, said never buy property on water because it'll always end up being a problem. And the reason why, I think the underlying assumption of that statement is water property is so contentious, and people, you know, covet it so much in a way that, like, I learned this when I lived on the beach on Lake Superior, when you guys saw that, you know, with my beach place, that everyone thought they owned the beach. And so when you own property right on the beach, there's this major conflict where it's like, you're not supposed to keep us from our beach. The beach belongs to everybody. The lake belongs to everybody. And, you know, and then you start to become this, like, enemy, and you never even plan to. Well, it's kind of the same with the river. People get really nitpicky about the slightest little detail, and it can go sour really quick. But maybe I'll tell you guys that story sometime. But I own a couple of properties in the UP, and I think I've decided that I'm going to sell at least one. And Superiorland, at least for the time being, is going to become like a fall, autumn place to be. That is the best time of year to be up there. Basically now, you could say November 1st, though the weather can start to, some years can get pretty nasty in October. But you got fall colors, you've got cooler temperatures, you've got no bugs. It really is an ideal place to be, that Upper Peninsula, Superiorland, Keweenaw Peninsula. And I think if I sold both of my properties there, I might regret it. And also, I thought, well, maybe keep my deer camp in order to store my barge and store some things, because it's so cheap and property taxes are cheap. there, and that's getting really hard to find too. As I'm telling this story, I'm so tempted to kind of start expanding out and talk about bigger subjects, which I hope to do on the backup channel when we're on the loop, when we're back on the loop from this October onward. I think there'll be lots of time to just kind of kick over to that side and start talking more about bigger subjects, you know, like we did last year or when we were on the loop before. So, but yeah, things are getting harder. You know, inflation is creeping up and wages aren't. And all right, Wayne, welcome home.
Yeah.
What you up to?
Not too much. Done working for another session of the store.
Yeah. So I've been gone about a week, and I come back, and there's a new boat in Shanty Boat Cove. Tell us about it.
Yeah, this the guy I work for, kind of doing some trailer deliveries and stuff.
Can we take a closer look?
Yeah, the guy, he had this in the barn and everything, and he kind of mentioned about me buying it, because I bought a boat from him about 5 years ago, and I shouldn't have got rid of that boat. If you go way back and look at my stuff there, me and my daughter did stuff on it. It was a great boat. Guy really takes care of his stuff. And this thing sat under cover all the time. It never was out in the weather. And it really hasn't been used hardly much lately. So he said, hey, why don't you take that boat and we'll throw it in and you can use it for a month and get some more fishing in or whatever you want to do, and then we'll try to work out a price on it. And I'm like, well, okay, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's 16 feet or 16 and a half feet, it looks like.
Yep.
It's got a little Mercury 25 4-stroke on it, which is nice.
Yep. The trim
it's got
and
the
all
console.
That works. It's got a depth sounder. It's got plenty of chairs. It's got rod holders. It's got
a trailer.
Yeah, it's got a trailer. A nice Shorelander trailer. A live well. Everything works. The fuel gauge works. The speedometer works.
You were even thinking about maybe taking it up to the UP for a little fishing trip this fall or something.
I'm thinking in September. Like I said, I kind of got a lot of things kind of in the pot cooking, and I can't really go into all of it until, you know, how everything's going to work out here or whatever. So
yeah, well, give us like your top 2 or 3 of what you might do this winter.
Well, I you know, if I was to pick this boat up, I kind of thought one of the things was I would go down the river again. It would be a super cheap one this time, because it's a 4-stroke, so you're just going to sip gas. So I thought about doing that, and then camping on the shore and on the islands and all that stuff. Kind of what I wanted to do for a long time. That was kind of my plan and everything. Just do some tent camping and just fish and just kind of enjoy it.
So just guys, just so you're not you're going to leave the shanty boat up here this...
Yeah, this thing is going to stay right up here. Actually, the place that I work for and everything's got a big storage place and everything, and I'm going to be able to put it back in there and set it for the winter.
Yeah. It's more of a, you're kind of thinking just leave it up here for next summer.
I think it's just going to kind of hang out up here for a while. You know, as I keep dialing it in, maybe next summer another tune under, you know, more dialing it in, then maybe, you know, get a bunk trailer or something like that, and then it might get to make a, you know, go somewhere and you know, use it.
Yeah, it's not quite ready yet.
It's just not ready yet. Yeah, it's exactly. The other thing was I'll just, you know, put this back on the trailer and he'll put it back in his barn or whatever, and I'll just take off on my ST on the 2 wheels and go do what I did last year and just go do some scooter tramp style camping and bumming around with the motorcycle. And if everything really works out, yeah, I think I'll maybe even be able to take this, pick up an older truck, throw it on, and just go down and just bum around, hit some lakes, and kind of do the same thing.
Put a little camper on the back of the truck.
Yeah, and again, if I get in, you know, get down to Florida, I want to do what I wanted to do last year, but I didn't get to do that. Not a big deal. But my daughter was there, and we just didn't. I wanted to spend time with her. But so this year she wouldn't be. But I just go bum around and camp on the islands down there, which we do up here, and the same kind of thing. Just camp and fish.
So folks can just keep checking in on your channel. I always link it below, guys. Yep. It's always in the description.
I've got a video probably either tomorrow or Sunday afternoon. I'm gonna try and get it up. I did a tour of a really big trawler over here, a 60-foot trawler, and I got to get a tour on it and really go through, and a guy was interested in it. Anyway, it's kind of a cool video. It's not gonna be anything about my diary things, but I think you really will like it. It's really
an interesting boat.
Yeah, it's an interesting boat. Very interesting. Yeah. Put my other ones up here. Oh, Ray, what a lifesaver.
Okay guys, this is the last day of Shanty Boat Cove season 2025. Wayne and I are kind of pulling some stuff off his boat and just moving into the next phase. So Wayne, give us your thoughts about the past 2 or 3 months.
Well, it was definitely really good and great and everything. It kind of went a lot faster, and I hate to say it, just like I've said to everybody, nobody has time for job. Job interfered immensely with what could have been better, always better.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of how it is. Yeah, those are mine. So that's kind of where it's at. So hopefully next year, maybe the plans work out. We're going to be able to do some more. I think we're going to go to another Shanty Boat Cove.
Yeah.
We're going to create a new one. I'm not sure where, but we're thinking about it.
Yeah. There's
if
lots
not,
of.
We'll be back here.
There's lots of Shanty Boat Coves,
There
and
is.
maybe we'll go find another one on Lake Michigan.
This has been an amazing one. It's been really nice.
So we're going for a ride in Wayne's new boat here. It's a 16-foot little fishing boat. It's got a 4-stroke on the back, nothing fancy, just a little 25 horse, which is just right for Wayne.
If I do go down the river, guys, just a little heads up. If I do decide to do it, this is the boat we're going to do it in, because it's super economy, and I'm just going to camp on the shore like I've wanted to do forever. And I might get to Panama, Pensacola area, and that'll be it. I don't know. You know, if that takes place.
You could sleep on it too. You could set it up.
I could sleep on it with a little small tent
with the flat floor like that.
Yes.
I mean, that's what I just did it on my boat for the whole summer.
Which would be fun.
Yep. So we're gonna move Wayne's shanty boat back over to Shanty Boat Cove. It's just a little short distance. We took the motor off of it, so we're gonna use the fishing boat to move it. Alright guys, we just dropped anchor right over there until Wayne gets off work tonight. He'll move it over to his little spot here, but that worked out pretty good. We're kind of wrapping things up for the season. He's heading off to work, and we were just kind of, trying to assess the summer, remember the cool stuff we did, and it can go by so fast, and sometimes you just forget about it almost as fast as it happens. So we've been counting our blessings, and Wayne, I think, agrees. Well, we'll let him say, but he's better off than he was. We both are better off than we were just a few months ago. Would you agree?
I think so. Yeah. In positive energy brings positive energy. I've always said that. All my life, and I've had some negative energy in my life when it comes to different things, and I won't go into it. But we're going to get some more videos up, guys. I know I'm slow on it and everything, but I promise you, I've got one in the hopper already, and tomorrow I ain't got to work, so I'll try and get that done for you guys and get things up. But it's it's sad, but we're all gonna hook up again here, and not very long.
Just we live by the seasons, and we're going into fall and winter, and we'll meet up again, and then before we know it, because time goes by so fast, it'll be summer again.
We'll be back to Shanty Boat Cove.
We're gonna find another. We're talking about having another one. We'll have different chapters and different places, and